What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Underground, and today we're back with another video type that I actually haven't done in a minute. I'm going to be covering one of my favorite producers who has taken over not only the underground, but the mainstream as well. This guy makes some of the hardest beats I've ever heard. He easily is one of my favorite producer tags I've heard in the last few years. Today, we're going to be talking about
Wake Up Filthy.
Richard Ortiz, who would eventually become known as Filthy, was born on February 1st, 1992 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And a quick fun fact, it actually turns out producer Oogie Mane, who has worked with the likes of Drake, Lil Uzi, 21 Savage, Playboi Carti, and a variety of other mainstream artists, is actually Filthy's younger brother. But according to Genius, Filthy started making beats around 2012, citing rapper and producer Space Ghost Perp, along with... Alright, here we go. Interdimensional art clan sent from a utopian future to usher in the next level of cyberpunk funk, Metro Zoo as some of his early influences. Yes, that's actually how they describe themselves. But moving on, Filthy would start to make a name for himself in the local Philly scene, working with artists such as Dizzy Santana and Lil Ruben along with his brother. But it wouldn't be until 2014 that Filthy would have his first breakthrough after meeting the Snob Mob, who put him in touch with rapper Sick Boy Rari. This opportunity would allow Filthy to begin making connections in the music industry, and over the next few years he would begin producing for some decent names in the underground, doing songs with artists such as Lil Yachty, Lil Tracy, Maddox, and Lucky. Now, as for how Filthy met Carti, I really can't find anything on it on the internet, so at some point I would assume in either 2019 or 20, Filthy would somehow get in touch with Playboi Carti, which is actually really impressive considering how reclusive and mysterious Carti had become since the release of his previous album, Die Lit. But by the time 2020 rolled around, Filthy already had a very solid discography under his belt, and although he hadn't produced any real mainstream hits, he'd made it a lot farther as a producer than most do. But then, Christmas of 2020, everything would once again change for Filthy when our favorite vampire would drop his legendary project.
Wake Up Filthy. You fuck away.
Now this should go without saying, but Whole Lotta Red is what really put Filthy on the map as not only a legend in the underground, but in the mainstream as well. Obviously, the sound of Whole Lotta Red was completely different from anything Carti had ever made before, and it was dope to see our favorite vampire let a relatively unknown producer lead this change. Now I did want to mention there were absolutely other producers in Whole Lotta Red who were essential in creating Carti's new sound. For example, Starboy or Art Dealer, not to discount them, but I decided to cover Filthy just because he's probably the most well-known producer who made it big from this project. But out of the 24 songs on Whole Lotta Red, Filthy would end up producing 6 of them, or a quarter of the project, and his legendary producer tag,
Wake Up Filthy,
would soon become synonymous with the distorted, chaotic, mosh pit style of Whole Lotta Red. Now I'm sure as some of you are wondering, where did Filthy's producer tag come from? I really can't find anything on it. The most I can find is that it's a British lady saying,
Wake Up Filthy,
but either way, that shit's hard.
Wake Up Filthy.
As of right now, it's safe to say that Filthy's career is definitely flourishing. He's produced a shit ton of songs for all of Carti's Opium artists, as well as for a wide variety of other underground artists who are currently popping in the scene. He's also had a few mainstream placements, with his most notable one being Lil Yachty's famous song. But I feel confident saying that Filthy still has a long and successful career ahead of him, and I'm very excited to see how his music will continue to evolve and what artists he'll decide to work with. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Remember, I'll give you a shout out in the next video if you do. Also, be sure to like and subscribe with those notifications on so you know when I'm live streaming. If you're an upcoming artist, it's a great spot to submit your music and you want to get some actual criticism, that's my job. But seriously, love you guys. Thank you all so much for the support. Take it easy, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.